Love my coffee first thing in the morning. Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally doesn't work. And thank you for joining in for Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because things always happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, so you want to be up to speed on all that's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. And last night, of course, didn't disappoint. David Irving was in California picking up his daughter. David Irving has now got custody of his daughter. We all know about the happenings of a few weeks ago where his estranged baby's mama got a hold of his Twitter, was making all kinds of things, statements about him. The police investigated, brought no charges or anything on him, and he has now got custody of his daughter. And he's bringing her from California back home. In the end, let's hope that this is the end of all the madness and all the ugliness. Regardless of how the two of them interact with each other, in the end, it's really about the child. And you don't want the child to be scarred from the relationship and this all being dealt with in the media. So hopefully calmer heads will prevail. Then, of course, if you were watching last night during our live stream, news broke that Eli Manning has settled his memorabilia lawsuit, basically admitting guilt and making this thing try to go away. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, because of course if it were a Dallas Cowboy, it would be all over the place. Of course they broke it late last night, so that way it'll be lost in the wash. But Eli Manning was supposedly selling game-used helmets to memorabilia dealers. And you guys remember me going to the autograph show a few weeks back. When you think about an Emmitt Smith signature being worth $250 just for a signature, what would a game-used helmet go for? I guarantee it's not chump change, because there's only a few of those out there, and apparently a lot less than what Eli Manning was trying to sell. So that case was supposed to go to trial yesterday, and jury selection was supposed to start. However, the equipment manager's lawyer had a death in the family, so that put it off till next week. And then late last night, we hear word of a settlement. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if this, in fact, stains Eli Manning and the Manning family, because basically you're admitting to guilt that I had fraud. Now, it's not criminal. It was a civil case. It'll be interesting to see if the NFL does anything in there, especially after you've seen, Zeke Elliott, without ever being charged or found guilty of anything, got 6-game suspension. When you look at Deflategate, Tom Brady gets 4 games. What does Eli Manning get for fraud? Hold on, friends. We'll have to wait and see. And in other news, Leon broke to me last night again while we were doing our live stream a comment from Zeke Elliott. Now, Zeke Elliott has been staying out of the news, which is fantastic. This is the kind of news I like to hear. He basically says, I want my title back, because I know me running the ball and winning the title helps my team win. And I want to win. I want to do well in the playoffs to the Super Bowl. And he's not the first person that I've heard say that. Talk about the quest for 6. Dak Prescott says that too. When I saw him at the autograph signing, Sean Lee said the same thing. We're going for 6. And I'm hoping that's the mentality of all of the teammates in there, that this is it. This is the time for us to make a run. I got to tell you, all the talking heads out there are doom and gloom on the Dallas Cowboys. Something I'll talk about later, but, some people believe that the Cowboys have set Dak Prescott up for failure, between Kellen Moore being his coach, between losing Des Bryant and losing Jason Witten and the lack of a number 1 wide receiver. They're saying that, basically the Cowboys have set him up to fail with this offense. When you listen to First Things First and all these talking shows that basically say the New York Giants are a better team, I like that, because what happens to our Cowboys it seems whenever we are expected to win, whenever they said the Cowboys are loaded up, is always when we fail. It's the years when we are least expected to do anything that the Cowboys do well. Think about it. After 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and Jason Garrett had play calling taken from him, he was on the hot seat. Tony Romo has the best year of his career. Des Bryant has the best year of his career. The team wins the division, 12-4. So what happens? Cowboys Super Bowl contender. They're loaded for bear. Best offensive line in football. And what happens in 2015? Down the toilet. So going into 2016, everybody thought that the Giants were the best team in the division. The Cowboys were in the basement. Nobody thought much of the Cowboys. It's Tony Romo's last couple of years, if he can hold it together. And Tony gets hurt. So what happened? Season's over. You're going to your third string quarterback, a fourth round draft picked rookie. What happens? 13-3. After that season, Dallas Cowboys, Rookie of the Year quarterback, best running back in football, best offensive line in football, Super Bowl contender. And what happens? They fall. So now, it's not expected for them to be great. People are doubting them. I kind of like that, because then when you least expect it, the Cowboys turn it around. And one other thing I'll add to that too, some people will say that Jason Garrett is on the hot seat. And Jason Garrett, for whatever reason, seems like he's like a cat with 9 lives. Because whenever he's on the hot seat, the team does well. So I look for a turnaround for this season. I look for the team to be back in the playoffs. I look for them to be challenging for a Super Bowl. In contrast to what they look at on First Things First, they looked at the team over the course of the last 5 years, and they say they're not Super Bowl contenders. Their record's near 500. Let's look back at the last 3 years. Because let's make no mistake, a lot of the guys that are playing important roles in this team weren't part of this team 5 years ago. So that team has nothing to do with this team. Over the course of the last 3 years, the Cowboys have been 29-19. And that's with that 4-12 season. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And I dare say that their stock is trending up, at least in my mind. Well, with that being said, got to let the dogs back in and get ready to carry my behind to work. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this does not work. And I will see you guys soon.